Today is medical management of severe hypertension and severe preeclampsia or eclampsia in a critical care setting. We are discussing this from the NICE guideline about hypertension in a pregnancy. So about the anticonvulsion, it is written in the NICE guideline that the first line of the treatment should be the magnesium sulfate. That should be preferred for patients who are in a critical care setting, whether for delivery or whether they have previous history of it. So if patient has previous history of fits, previous history of eclampsia, then magnesium sulfate should be preferred. Also, who need magnesium sulfate, they also include those who are in critical care setting if the birth is planned within 24 hours. Okay, there are some moments in the critical care settings whose birth is planned within 24 hours, then they might need the magnesium sulfate, okay, in order to reduce the risk of fits. Okay, so that is the thing. Consider giving intravenous magnesium sulfate to the woman with a severe preeclampsia who are in critical care setting and if birth is planned within 24 hours. Okay, and consider the need for magnesium sulfate treatment if one or more of the following features of preeclampsia is present, that is ongoing or recurring headache, visual scotoma, or nausea and vomiting. If these are present, then we have to give magnesium sulfate. If one of these are present, then magnesium sulfate should be preferred as the treatment of choice. And also those who have progressive deterioration in the laboratory results such as rising creatinine or liver transaminases or falling platelets count, if these things are present, then magnesium sulfate should be preferred as the first line of the management for the prevention of the fits or as an anticonvulsant in the pregnancy. Now, what should be the dose of magnesium sulfate? Use the collaborative eclampsia trial regime for the administration of the magnesium sulfate. Okay, that is the dose. Collaborative eclampsia trial regime. And what is that? That is a loading dose of 4 gram should be given intravenously. Okay, that is 4 gram is very important. Okay, I'm going to underline this 4 gram. Okay, 4 gram intravenously over 5 to 15 minutes, followed by an infusion of 1 gram per hour maintained for 24 hours. Okay, so that is both about loading and maintenance. And if the woman has an eclamptic fit, the infusion should be continued for 24 hours after the last fit. Recurrent fit should be treated with a further dose of 2 to 4 gram given intravenously over 5 to 15 minutes. So that is for the recurrent fit according to 2010 guideline amended in 2019. Now it is also very important that do not use diazepam, phenytoin or other anticonvulsant as an alternative to magnesium sulfate. Okay, do not use diazepam, phenytoin or other anticonvulsant as an alternative to magnesium sulfate in a woman with a preeclampsia. So do not go for them as an alternative. Okay, you can go for them in case of emergency if you need it, but do not use as an alternative. What antihypertensive should be used? Treat the woman with severe hypertension who are in critical care during pregnancy or immediately after birth with one of the following: labetalol, oral nifedipine, intravenous hydralazine. Okay, labetalol, oral or intravenous, nifedipine, intravenous hydralazine. Okay, and in a woman with severe preeclampsia who are in critical care, monitor their response to treatment to ensure that their blood pressure falls, to identify adverse effects of both mother and baby, and to modify treatment according to the response. Okay, to ensure that blood pressure falls, to identify the adverse effect for the both mother and the baby, and to modify treatment according to the response. Ensure, identify, and modify. So these things are needed to be remembered. Okay, we have discussed different antihypertensives and certain important points. Now consider using up to 500 ml crystalline fluid before or at the same time as the first dose of intravenous hydralazine is used in the antenatal period. Okay, we use up to 500 ml crystalline fluid if the first dose of intravenous hydralazine infusion is used in the antenatal period. Okay, so that is also a very important point which needs to be remembered. Okay, so we have done just a brief description of the antihypertensive and the choices of the treatment for the patient with the eclampsia or preeclampsia in the critical care setting, whether she is there for delivery or she is not there for delivery or she is postnatal. We would need a special care for her. Okay, thank you so much for your patience. Bye.